Good morning and welcome back to Movie Review 30, the top 20 movies of 2024. It is 8:41 a.m. A lot of us woke up and got ready for this occasion. So, let's continue where we left off, as promised.
Yeah, and this is part 2 of the video. If some of you haven't seen part 1 yet, then...
Yeah, also, apologies for earlier. I was not feeling too great, but I'm feeling much better right now. So, without further ado, let's begin.
Yeah, and yeah. So, from the last list, we have films that we liked, and last 2 that were just total garbage.
Yep.
But
these are the best of the best.
Yeah, so this is like 10 of the best films of this. Yeah, and these are just like our opinions, what movies that we actually loved. So here we go, part 2 of the top 20 movies of 2024. And we're on to number 10 of a sequel of a famous disaster film dealing with tornadoes.
You guessed it, it's Twisters.
So, yeah, where do we begin with this sequel? Because this took everyone by surprise because nobody thought this was going to be this good.
Yeah, the thing was, this is actually more of a loose sequel, so there's no mention of the previous characters from earlier. And, you know what, I kind of like it for what it is, and I kind of like this change.
Yeah, it's like you don't really have to see the first film to get it.
Yeah.
And also, fun fact, I heard that the main character's mother was originally supposed to be played by the original actress from the original movie, but unfortunately was not available, so they had to use a new character.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but I welcome the new cast. Like, everyone did a good job, and I also like the main guy, who's like, if you feel it...
Chase it.
If you feel it...
Chase it. Yeah, the funny thing is, we all thought he was just going to be some douchebag, but it turns out he is more than what we think.
Yeah, so this movie did not repeat the first film.
Yeah, not to mention, I kind of like that it takes you by surprise.
Yeah, and also the effects look amazing. Like, it looked like the tornadoes will almost look like they were there. And yeah, also the tornadoes themselves were very menacing.
Oh yeah.
Especially the E5. Oh god, those things are the worst.
Yeah.
It's a good... Yeah, and also I heard that most tornadoes around here are just rare, like not...
Yeah.
And also, one thing, when we were at G-Fest, we were lucky that we got out of there because there was a tornado.
Yeah, there was a tornado. Man, I thought Christopher Lee had it rough. What?
Oh, no.
What did I say?
Oh, nothing. And also, I'd like to see where they were at that cowboy show, but then unfortunately, a tornado had to ruin the show. It's coming! It's heading right for us!
It's already here.
Okay, that was a quote from the original, but and I have a favorite quote in this movie is like, you don't face your fears, you ride them. Okay, enough about Twisters. Moving on to number 9 is a DreamWorks film.
The Wild Robot. Where do I begin with this one? This is another DreamWorks hit.
Like the last film being a Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Yeah, that was also good, but that's beside the point. The Wild Robot has more of a nature feel to it, and honestly, it really adds to its favor.
Yeah, it's like DreamWorks is almost like listen to the audience. Like, yes, DreamWorks in the past had a few shitty movies like Shark Tales and Boss Baby, but this one is like a clean of fresh air.
Yep.
And the animation is just beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Like, and also the characters were likable, and I liked the robot herself. Like, yep. I'm sorry, I can't remember their names, but if anyone should tell us in the comments.
Yeah.
And what other things you liked about this film?
I kind of like the story. I like the story, the aesthetic, the visuals, and also the characters and the cast. Yeah. Because they really went all in with this one.
I would say the highlight of this film would be the robot and the duck.
Yep.
Even though they're not related, but
Yeah, you can still feel the relationship, and so all in all, this is a great movie that's definitely worth checking out.
yeah, and definitely worth your time if you're a fan of the other DreamWorks films.
Yeah.
It, okay, all right, moving on. Number 8 is part of the Middle Earth of,
The Lord of the Rings: War of the Rohirrim.
and it's an anime movie, nonetheless.
Yeah, this one was personal to me, given my father was a massive Lord of the Rings fan, and he passed last year, so I made it my obligation to see this film. The story was really good. Great animation.
Yeah, and it was very colorful, and I actually loved its cast in this.
Yeah, and it feels like a Lord of the Rings film.
It exactly, and I think this is a film that your dad would have loved.
Yep. And not to mention, it has archival footage from Sir Christopher Lee. Not AI, archival footage. That is something I will always respect.
Yeah, like they used like archive footage that was not used in any of the.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, no, fuck AI. Let's just use some footages that wasn't used in the movies and actually make this.
Oh, yeah.
And because I think we kind of did the same thing with your Halloween special when you were doing like this.
Yep.
And also, I really like the female protagonist in this. Like, and also, can you really blame the villain that wants revenge?
Yeah.
It's like, wait, Dad, you killed him. You'll pay with your life.
Yep.
Also, there's no Gandalf. Boo, zero. Oh no, don't worry. He's mentioned, but he's not in the movie.
And that's okay, because not everything has to involve the big pointy hat wizard.
Yeah. So, okay, before we go to the next one, what's one more thing I have to say about this anime film?
Go watch it.
And also, don't listen to the critics speak. And it's a shame the film didn't do well.
And you know what, that's fine. I don't think there was going to be like a sequel or anything.
Yeah, you know, it works as a standalone film. I mean, not everything needs a sequel.
Yep.
And also, I did like it did have like a bittersweet ending where the villain dies and the main protagonist wins the battle.
Yep.
And again, Saruman, that unexpected cameo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you were like. Okay, enough about that. Now, number 7, it had to be a tie because this was a big list, so we had to. It's a tie between 2 horror films that honor the legacy of both
Well, what are they?
Alien, Romulus, and Nosferatu.
Oh. And I remember seeing Alien Romulus in the theaters, and it's scaring the shit out of me. Yeah, like especially the climax.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like it was good that I actually personally think this Alien movie brought the Alien franchise back to its roots. Like after seeing a Covenant that nobody wants to remember.
Yeah, and after Beetlejuice, and just like Beetlejuice, it was all practical.
Yeah, even though it did have a bit of CGI. Well, some of the CG didn't look that good, but the practical effects were the highlight.
Yep. And also in the climax, it was all practical, which I also had to respect.
Yeah, I mean, the movie's been out for a while, so let's tell them what was going on in the climax.
There was one of the characters were carrying a child. She got infected with alien DNA and mutated into basically a freakish hybrid as to what the newborn was from Alien 4 was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it just looks lifeless and just pierce into your soul.
So it's like a sci-fi zombie.
Yep.
Yeah, that thing was like, what the fuck am I looking at?
The best part is,
Yeah?
that wasn't a CG model. That was literally a 7-foot tall man.
Yeah, like, and he was the perfect choice for this.
Yes, 7 fucking feet tall. That is a basketball player from fucking Romania playing a monster.
Yeah, and I was convinced that looked like a monster to me, and that monster served as this final act antagonist. Well, the main villains are the Xenomorphs, and wasn't nice seeing the Xenomorphs again?
Oh yeah.
Not being fully CG like in Covenant.
Yep.
Because, let's be honest, not every monster has to be fully CG because they worked back then when they were on camera.
Yep.
Looking at you, Michael Bay, for what you've done to the Ninja Turtles. And those twins in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Yeah, so yeah. Okay, enough about Romulus. Let's go over Nosferatu.
I freaking love Nosferatu.
Yeah, and this would probably be our new favorite horror film of this. Because it had a very grim story. It can be depressing. And Jesus Christ, Count Orlok himself. Played by the actor who played Pennywise. Like, I feel like that actor deserves an Oscar.
Yeah, this film was brutal.
And also, just like the last vampire film, they killed children in this!
Oh yeah.
What is up with vampire films killing off kids?
Well, you gotta respect them for having the cojones to do it, for doing it.
Even Interview with a Vampire did this too.
Oh man.
And also, Count Orlok talks like this. If you do anything, I will kill you, and you'll be my bride. Yeah, that's how he talks.
Yeah, and not to mention, it just sounds very, very menacing.
Okay, we won't reveal what he looks like, but his design is a bit closer to the original, but they found out to make it its own.
Yep.
And also, Disney, this is how you do remakes!
Oh yeah. But I think they'll listen. I mean, besides, they're just gonna keep shooting themselves in the foot. Like certain installments we're gonna look at soon enough.
Snow White. Or you like to call it Snow Why?
Yep. Aside from that, go watch these 2 movies.
Yeah, they brought the 2 franchises back to the roots. Well, I'm not sure if Nosferatu count as a franchise because the original only had 1 film and there was no sequels. Well, mostly remakes. So again, if you're a big horror movie fan and love Nosferatu and the Alien franchise, see them, you won't be disappointed.
Alright?
So yeah. Okay, right. Number 6 is a sequel to an ongoing film franchise that started out in 2020 that we thought was going to suck, but it turned out great. And, Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Oh, where do I begin with this? This film is just... It's a good balance of a great family film and fan service.
Yes, and Jim Carrey playing 2 Eggmen.
And not to mention, it's one of the rare occurrences where actors fight themselves.
Papa, in the saggy flesh.
And a lot of the gags but done by Jim Carrey were just...
And, hey, are you Detective Pikachu? He thinks you're a Pokemon! Pika Pika! and also, Idris Elba's also like he's having so much fun as Knuckles. Like he was in the Knuckles series in Sonic 2.
And not to mention, we have Keanu freaking Reeves
As Shadow the Hedgehog. And the voice matches the character.
Oh yeah.
And you almost forget it's Keanu.
And the funny thing is, Keanu's the polar opposite of Shadow in real life.
Oh yeah, whereas Keanu's just a sweet human being.
Oh yeah, he is breathtaking and pure.
Why do you look like me? I don't look like you. Why do you look like me? Actually, Sonic, I would like to fight. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Uh,
And also, Knuckles is afraid of ghosts. Get a grip. Boo. Ah! And you were laughing in the theater with...
oh yeah. What I liked about the Sonic films is that they also brought some witty humor into it, which is something I will respect them for.
Yeah. And also that awesome climax. And oh my god, they played the song Live and Learn.
Yeah. Oh man, where do I?
When we heard that music, you were like, yes!
Yeah. Audiences roared.
And also, this movie could get surprisingly dark, especially the tragic backstory for Shadow.
Oh yeah. Well, granted, it wasn't as brutal as the video games, thankfully, but it was still quite. But it's still dark nonetheless.
Yeah, because the one character I sympathize the most in this is Shadow.
Yep.
And also, this is what the Sonic fan film should have been.
Yeah.
This is how you do something that's dark, but also knows when to lighten up. When this movie doesn't have to be dark all the time.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It was about a. It's a fan film about a game about an anthropomorphic hedgehog. You think you're gonna make something that super serious?
But well, if you want something super dark and gritty, then The Crow is for you.
Yeah. But aside from that, watch Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yeah. And now, number 5 is another good one of two iconic Marvel characters. Finally together, saving the world, dealing with the multiverse. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh man, where do I begin with this? This surpassed both 1 and 2, respectively.
And everyone's saying they consider this to be the best in the Deadpool trilogy.
Yeah, I have to argue that. That is true.
And finally get to see Deadpool and Wolverine finally interact. And how does it feel seeing Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine one last time?
It was good to see him back.
Yeah. And it has good action, funny moments, and this feels more like a buddy comedy film, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
And Antonio, this is a different Wolverine. This is not the original because
The original one is long gone.
yes, the new one is played by the same actor, but he almost feels like he was. Well, it's a different version, but from a different perspective. Where this version of Wolverine was considered the worst interpretation, but
Yeah.
it wasn't really his fault because what happened to his same. I don't know. Okay, it's not entirely explained, but I'm sure what happened to them was an accident.
It could be.
And is this because your world went to shit? And also that argument they had in the car, like, what,
Yeah.
you got nothing to say? Mouth!
I'm gonna fight you
Oh, are you?
now.
But they do make up for it, and also seeing other legacy characters, like Johnny Storm played by Chris Evans again.
Oh yeah. They go all in.
I don't know what half of that means. I did. Yeah, Johnny dies in this.
Yep.
Not my favorite Chris. And also other characters like Blade, like Elektra, one version of Gambit that we never saw, and Laura. Yeah, Laura from Logan, who was X-23. Yeah, everybody's back. Well, minus Gambit. Well, but that's a new version of Gambit,
Yep.
who's actually much closer to his comic counterpart. So, yeah, anything else to say about?
Go watch it.
And also, yeah, I do love the opening scene with the bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was art.
yeah, and pretty graphic seeing Deadpool kill those guys without using his weapons, but using all of the deceased Wolverine's bones as weapons.
I guess they were boned.
Yeah, because the movie itself made a joke about that. Oh, ooh, number 4.
Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. There's
What?
no way we weren't gonna put this in.
And this is kind of high on the list, and everyone's wondering why. But because it's Godzilla and frickin' King Kong.
Okay, where do I begin with this?
I mean, sure, it's no -1, but when -1 was more of the depressing film, this was like, fuck it, let's just go all shonen on this bitch. Just like Godzilla versus Kong.
Yep. I kind of love that the MonsterVerse lightened up a bit.
I mean, it did start out serious, but then no, like, you don't know, let's just go all crazy with this.
Yep.
Even Adam Wingard considers his film to be a very crazy monster movie.
This adds to crazy, and I mean that in a good way, and this is also sentimental to my heart, given this was the last film I saw with my father in theaters.
But anyway,
So, basically the plot... Wait, you already know the plot, so...
so it's pretty much like Godzilla and Kong teaming up against a new threat, being the Scar King. And oh my god, the Scar King is a complete tyrant.
Yeah, what I actually loved about this is that they made the kaiju villain... They gave him an actual personality.
Yeah,
And it's a menacing, sadistic, and cruel one.
and he's almost like an ape version of a dictator.
Oh, yeah.
And also, you know, here's a bit of Easter egg. Those apes, those other giant apes on the left side, that's his harem. And those are all of his babies. Which was explained by Adam Wingard. Wait, what are you doing? What?
I feel dirty.
Well, because the Scar King is a sicko. And I don't think he didn't want children. He wanted, like, more army.
Jesus, what type of fucked up... Jesus Christ.
And also Shimu was a great addition to the MonsterVerse, where she wasn't a villain, she was only used as a puppet.
Yep.
And because Scar King wanted the most powerful Titan, like by controlling her by using a crystal. And the only way they could stop this bastard is our 2 icons. Yeah, let's first go over Godzilla in this.
Godzilla's more of a secondary character, but that's fine. I mean, he still has his moment to shine.
Yeah, and I do love his badass evolved form. Like, because he knows a threat is coming, so he had to get around and get more energy, especially stealing all that pink energy from
Tiamat.
But she dies, or is she?
Yeah, that reminds me, another thing about Godzilla. He's a fucking powerhouse in this.
Yeah, especially when he had the whip in his mouth. I was like, oh, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the real star of this film is Kong. Yeah.
I kind of love Kong's character development here. He's basically Kratos from the Norse God of War films.
And also his chemistry with Zuko, like, that was endearing, like...
Oh yeah, but wasn't like all cutesy. There was a time that he used Zuko as fucking nunchucks.
Yeah, that everybody kind of laughed at that. Yeah.
I will always respect Adam Wingard for that decision.
Yeah, and
because man, he proved himself.
yeah. Zuko is not Baby Yoda in this, like.
Oh no.
Because almost like they tried to, but no, this is.
Oh no, he. Monkey nunchucks.
And also, it's nice to see Mothra for an extended cameo.
Yeah, Mothra does play a part in this, and the thing was, she was kept a secret.
Yeah,
and they're originally going to have another monster just in case the means to get Mothra didn't go through, but they did go through, and we have Mothra.
Thank God.
Oh man,
because is anyone going to care about the new one, or?
I'd give it I'd give it an open mind, but I mean, still.
And maybe we could probably do a list of monsters that were never used in the MonsterVerse, but that could be a list for another time.
Yep. Hey, Mothra's here, so I'm grateful.
And also that running scene with Godzilla and Kong chasing after
the whole climax is just levels of badassery.
First was in like a zero gravity, then was in a city. Like, it just keeps going and going and going. It's like the movie's not taking a break.
Oh yeah.
This is almost like Transformers the movie levels of crazy action.
Yeah. I really hope somebody makes a theme park ride of this shit because
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking the same thing!
yeah, Tendo, if you're watching this and if by some minute chance you see this and if there's a ride of Godzilla Kong the New Empire, you go and review it, damn it.
And give us another video game. I mean, we had the last one, what was a survival game, but give us one where you play as the monsters! For God's sake!
So yeah, I think you already know what we're gonna say at this point. Go fucking watch it.
I mean, if you're a big King Kong fan and Godzilla fan, see it! And fan of the Monsterverse in general.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so yeah, moving on. And this one is a concert movie.
Sabaton, the tour to end all tours.
And you're like, wait, Sabaton, oh what now?
They are a Swedish power metal band that sings about moments in military history, like World War II, World War I, the Cold War.
And also, there isn't much of a story, it's just the band playing songs to the audience.
Well, here's another thing about this concert film.
What?
There were moments where they had actors play out scenes from history, like when they did the song Father, they actually had one of the actors play a scientist trying to figure out the equation for toxic gas.
Also, it's like the songs are telling...
Yeah, these songs tell a story. They have a tone, they have... The lyrics basically portray what's going on.
It's just like Fantasia, but it's rock and roll.
Metal.
Yeah, I mean metal. Well, same thing.
Actually, no. Rock is more soft, metal's more hardcore. Nothing against rock, mind you.
Yeah, and... Yeah, and also Sabbath, like, they put all with these crazy songs. And heck, we had one of those songs in the Sonic fan film review.
Ghost Division.
Yeah. Already, I regret my decision.
Yeah, that was around the time I had Sabaton fever. So if you want something to rock out to, this is for you.
But it could be hard to find, so someone please put that movie on Blu-ray or on streaming.
Yep.
Because it could be hard to find, so let's hopefully anyone else who haven't had the chance to see it, let's hope they do when the movie's on Blu-ray. So, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, number 2. Oh, number 2. Let's say Transformers 1.
Oh my god, I love the story in this. And yeah, the advertisement campaign didn't do any justice, but I was still willing to watch it. And by God, they delivered.
Yeah, it's like, it had a strong story, strong animation, and the voice cast do a great job playing their characters. Like, Orion Pax and D16 were the highlights of the film, of the bonding friendship. But
that will soon deteriorate when they learn the dark side of their leaders.
yes, Sentinel Prime, the villain, the villain of the movie, and he lied to all of his people because he made a deal with the creators.
Well, in Generation 1, they're the creators.
Oh.
In Transformers 1, they were just another race called the Quintessians.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I meant to say Quintessians.
That's fine.
And the movie could get pretty dark at times, and also Steve Buscemi as Starscream. I mean,
yeah, that's just grade A casting.
And the friendship between Orion and Dee starts to fall apart.
Yep, and at the end of the climax is where it went to a screeching halt.
Yeah, where Dee actually kills Sentinel by tearing him in two.
Yep.
And he becomes
Megatron. However, Orion Pax, now known as Optimus Prime, managed to take him down and basically tell him you're no longer welcome in Iacon. Take the High Guard and never return.
It didn't have to end this way.
And this would foreshadow the rivalry between the two leaders.
The Autobots versus Decepticons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and there was a flashback that was like, oh, that memory starts to become a sad memory.
Yep.
And yeah, and also rising up when he gives all the other like magic sports to all the other miners who become transforming robots.
Yep.
And also Bumblebee was just endearing in this.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's called B-127, but they call him B for short.
Yep.
I like the part where he just runs away with his. Then it's like,
Yeah.
and also I really liked Alita in this too.
Oh yeah.
Decepticons, rise up!
I love that secret ending, but what bothers me is that the advertisements spoiled it.
Damn it!
So all in all,
Ah, damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
so all in all, good movie. Go see it.
And let's hope it gets some sequels.
Yeah.
That's because, yeah, it didn't do great at the box office, but hopefully it'll gain a cult following and fans will beg for a sequel. So, give us a sequel, Hasbro, now!
Well, you're just hoping they listen. And now on to number one, and this was a film we have both underestimated galore.
Yeah, because we thought this film was gonna suck, but thank God we were wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he, she's, theys, the gays, give it up for the one and only Wicked. Holy crap!
Yeah.
This film was amazing.
And everyone's wondering, wait, why is this the #1 spot?
Great story, great character development, really respectful to the source material it was based on. I mean, granted, the film was based on the play, which the play was also based on a much darker novel. Thankfully, the darker elements of the novel aren't in the movie.
Yeah, and anyone who watched the Broadway show will probably know what this movie's about.
Yep. Cynthia Williams is just great as Elphaba.
Who would later be known as the Wicked Witch of the West. And also I really loved Glinda in this too.
Oh yeah, pompous, holier than thou. It goes to a point where it's over the top hilarity and it's intentional.
And yeah, also the cast do a great job. And anyone knows that Peter Dinklage is in this who plays the goat?
Yeah, and there were some really terrifying elements that were a little too real, but that's, like, I think it kind of does add to it.
And also, I can't help the feeling that Lion Cub would grow up to be the Cowardly Lion. I mean,
And I think some of the characters we met before will later become the other guys, the Scarecrow and the Tin Man.
yeah, but yeah, we'll wait.
We'll wait and see.
And also Teleno, and also Jeff Goldblum was great as the Wizard.
Oh yeah.
He played a very whimsical.
Yeah, whimsical at first, but when you learn the truth, it really starts to reveal who he is.
Yeah, and also Elphaba just couldn't handle it. It's like, you know what? No, I don't want this. Fuck this. I'm against all of you.
Yep, and also just the music in this is just beautiful.
Yeah, the singing. All the actors do a good job with their singing lyrics, and the last one was the highlight.
Yeah, breathtaking.
I think that song's going to be mostly remembered the most.
Yep, and hopefully it's a tune of hope.
Yeah, yeah, and also the film ends on a cliffhanger. I'm like, wait, that's it? Where's the rest of the movie?
Dean, it said Wicked Part 1.
Oh.
I paid attention to that.
And also, this was his second viewing. He actually saw the film 2 times in theaters.
I saw it with a friend, Eric Rounds. If you're seeing this, Eric, hello.
Hey, remember me? And his second viewing with me and my mother. Because my mom wanted to see this film. This was her idea. And this was her birthday present.
Yeah.
So everybody wish my mom a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And at the end of the film, it didn't look like the Elphaba was turned to the dark side, unlike Megatron.
Yeah, I kind of like that the tables kind of turned. I think that's what the play was about, because I remember back in high school, my teacher was talking about this, and I was shocked to learn that the Wicked Witch of the West actually turns out to not be the monster that everyone betrayed her as.
So she's like trying to start a rebel, and hopefully the monkeys would actually take her side.
Or probably those... And don't forget those weird guys that kind of just march and just...
We own.
Sorry, we had to do that.
Yeah, but well, and yeah. So again, this film ends on a cliffhanger, and we want to see where the rest of it goes. And the sequel is on its way that continues the story. So I think this film is based on Act 1.
Yep, and the next one's going to be based on Act 2. So if anybody wants to... So I think you know what we're going to say is, seeing this film is a must. Go see this film.
Yeah, I mean, I love the original Wizard of Oz, Return to Oz, and I kind of liked Oz, Grace and Powerful, but yeah, this one is a breath.
Yep.
Yeah. And also, yeah, anyway, that's all we got to say. So
yeah, those were the top 20 films of 2024. And hopefully if we get through 2025, there'll be a countdown of that. So,
and there'll be, I think we're going to get a couple more shitty movies.
Yeah, also, one thing I have to announce.
What?
We're back.
And better than ever. And I'm still working on my next review, which is Warriors, so stay tuned for it. So I'm getting close of completing it.
Yeah, and also you're going to get more movie review 30s and quickies this year. Unlike last year, which there was a great drought for. Hopefully you didn't blame anybody for that.
Okay, anyway, we better get going because we're out of time and no need for intermission.
Yep, so with that being said, this is Brock McGinnis of Lightpost Films.
And Dean.
Signing off, and have a good rest of your day. Take care, everyone.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.